I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about, do avoidant people come back? You know, Margaret, I have gotten this
Good
question
topic.
so often recently, I can't even believe it.
Right.
It feels like it's happening several times a day where I'm seeing a question on the channel, in the videos, in my calls, in my email coachings. Do avoidant people come back? Do avoidant exes ever revisit the idea of coming back with you? Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there that are very discouraged over their breakup and their particular situation, and they'll start screaming from the rafters, it doesn't happen, they never come back. That's simply not true.
No, it's not true.
It's not true.
Is it easy? No. But
In fact, I think there are a lot of maybe even coaches out there that think that avoidants don't come back. I can think of something I read years ago, Doc Love. He was he was kind of talking about how women don't come back, they don't come back. Well, he seems, if you go and read his book, he seems extremely avoidant himself. And I'm guessing probably most of the women he was attracted to were even more avoidant than him.
Yeah.
And the ones that dated him were probably so anxious by his avoidant behavior that they just got fed up and never came back. So, no. Avoidant people do come back. However, they can be difficult to navigate for those of you who are anxious, because it means you're going to have to really step up your emotional self-control, right? And that takes a while. That takes hard work.
it's very hard work.
I got a quick email, and then Margaret and I are going to talk about avoidance, because this has been so frequently.
And we'll do it as many times as it's helpful.
Yeah. So they said, "Hi Craig, this is an email to let you know that once again your magic has paid off. I've never had a Skype session with either you or Margaret, but I've purchased all of your workbooks, and truthfully, they're so well made that I personally never needed a session. I was and still am completely devoted to the workbooks." Well, thank you so much for saying
Yes,
that.
wonderful.
I really do appreciate that. It took probably close to a year to get volumes 1 through 10 completed. And for those of you guys that are doing them, you can see they really will change your life if you work on them consistently. 20 to 30 minutes every day. And you will see, because it really does get you to think about yourself, mistakes you've made, looks at your family history, your relationships, how to do things differently, learning positive skills, learning improved skills to communicate with your partner, understanding your partner. It just goes into so many different areas. And, I do realize that a lot of you have come across materials from other coaches that have been extremely disappointing. And so you'd be reluctant, but I can tell you that I spent a long time working on these, and I would never put out something that I didn't really believe would help change your life. So thank you for saying that.
Yep.
And I do always appreciate when you guys share your feedback in the comment section to let other people know that they are the real deal. So thank you. They went on to say that everything you say about no contact, or whether your ex thinks about you during no contact and gaining emotional control, is true. They put that in bold caps.
Good.
My ex reached out after only a week of no contact to wish me a happy birthday, to which I replied, "Thank you very much." But I never insisted or felt compelled to continue the dialogue. I felt strong enough to wait for a better comeback on his part. So you could see they were already feeling more confident, right?
Yes, yes.
With your tools on gaining emotional control, I was able to continue with no contact, and guess what? He reached out again 3 weeks later. Basically, he told me that he never stopped thinking about me. There you have it. We say that all the time.
Case. Yes.
He never stopped thinking about me the whole time we were in no contact. That he missed me so much, and between me and you, I kind of felt he was getting frustrated at me that I never tried to contact him since he broke up with me.
Yeah, he broke up with you. Right.
With my anxious attachment style, it would have been my typical reaction. But not since I've worked on myself, thanks to you. Plus, he has an avoidant attachment style. I can't believe he's the one that reached out first, and twice besides that. I guess the roles are now reversed. I've kept my cool with my answers to him since he broke no contact, not because I'm manipulating the situation to my advantage, but simply because I no longer feel the need to be impulsive. If there's only one thing I've learned with you, it's that there's no rush. Let him work a little bit.
Great.
Anyways, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and helping us all during these difficult times. I'm a new woman, and you're my new best friend.
Oh, how cute.
She said, take care, Marlene. So,
thank you, Marlene.
yes, thank you for sharing your story, because it's always great when someone says, look, exes do come back. Exes do think about you all the time. Mine told me themselves. And the big question that we're seeing a lot is, do avoidant exes reach out? Do they come back? Do they want another chance? Margaret, what do you think?
Well, let's go back to all of the work we've done over the past many weeks, and we've talked at length about avoidant and anxious.
Yes, a lot of videos.
Avoidant people are born with the same urge to connect that we all have.
They're biologically hardwired the same way.
Same way everybody else is. However, their very early experience was met by parents who were not interested in hearing what they had to say, and who rejected them or ignored them when they expressed needs. So they gave up that people would respond to them, and sometimes they'd even get in trouble. And I always tell you about the lady I worked with who remembered her mother saying to her, "You need too much."
Yeah.
So these people stop needing anything from adults and become little tiny grown-ups very young. That does not mean they don't want the nurture. The major fear of the avoidant person is being controlled by someone else, or being smothered by someone else, or being asked to give up who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so they will resist that. And as you get close to them, they tend to get scared that that's going to happen. And our wonderful friend Susan Johnson has a very simple suggestion, that if we have an anxious and avoidant combination of people, the anxious person needs to tell the avoidant that they have no intention of smothering them or interfering with their autonomy or asking them to change. Okay?
That's a big one, though.
Right.
That's a big one. Asking them to change.
Asking them to
One
change.
of the struggles I've seen a lot with avoidance is that they don't want to change.
No.
They say, I like who I am.
Right. Because oftentimes the avoidant, who has never been into emotional connection, doesn't even think about how the partner feels when they're avoidant. And you need a patient partner who's going to tell you, when you do X or Y or Z, I feel hurt. And the avoidant person is liable to say, yeah, how come?
Mm-hmm.
Why? But if you can be patient and not get angry and have a demon dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell them why.
Yeah.
But Susan Johnson says that avoidant people need to reassure anxious people that they're not going to leave them.
Mm-hmm.
And anxious people need to reassure avoidant people that they're not going to smother them.
Yeah.
And you can say those words right out loud, right up front, which I know sounds like a strange idea to people who didn't grow up with a lot of communication.
Now, just to clear this up a little bit, we're not saying we want you to reach out to your ex and have this conversation.
No.
This would be something that you would slowly get into once you guys started spending time together.
Good point, yes.
Because I know people will get frustrated and say, well, how am I supposed to do that if I'm
supposed to be in no contact?
Yeah.
Right, okay, and that's a valid question. But like with this person, she followed our advice, which is go no contact, and it sounds like her partner is trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is that everybody's different, okay? So, you know, Margaret and I try and put out a lot of content to go over a lot of different situations, scenarios, teach you guys a lot of different things. But, you know, every human being is different in a sense that we're not all the same level of avoidant or anxious or, you know, because we all have our own experiences on relationships and life. And so some people are more extreme than others.
That's right.
Some people are extremely avoidant.
That's right, and extremely anxious.
Sure, or the other way, they're extremely anxious. So
if it starts to feel abusive on either side, then you probably need to think a long time before you continue. Okay? Because the avoidant person is going around saying, well, I don't know why he or she is upset with me all of the time. You know, I didn't do anything. I don't know what she's so upset about, or he's so upset about, and you'd have to spell it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point, though.
You'd have to spell it out.
Yeah.
Because the avoidant person doesn't know why you're so upset. Just because I didn't come home for 3 days in a row, why are you so upset? I wasn't cheating on you. No, I missed you. Oh, do people miss each other? Oh, he might say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are anxious, you really have to work on being able to stay emotionally centered and not lashing out, blowing up at your partner and trying to get manipulative and controlling.
Because if you try to control somebody who's avoidant, they will smell it before you even say it and head for the emotional door.
They will bolt.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It's so true. So in the time that you're in no contact and you're leaving them alone, you have to give yourself the real skills to improve, and when they come back, you have to be able to display those skills when you're with them.
Yeah.
It's not about, you you watch a million no contact videos and they come back and 3 weeks later you're still screaming about the same things. You have to make real long-lasting changes in order to get it to work and change.
Yeah. And some people are in it for the long haul and willing to do it because change has to happen on both sides.
Yep.
Although anxious people are oftentimes a little more willing to change than the avoidant who isn't unwilling but really doesn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had quite a few avoidant clients recently that told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said, I had no idea.
I had no idea that she was upset, I had a wonderful example the other day of somebody who would go on mountain climbing trips. Okay, and this was the wife, I think, who was mountain climbing. And the husband was always ranting and raving. He didn't like the friends she went mountain climbing with and all this sort of thing. What he was really saying is, I'm afraid you'll fall off the mountain and then I won't see you again. That's what he was really saying, Not that I'm trying to control you.
Yep. Yeah, so there's an underlying message
always
to that.
About connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, yes, avoidant people do come back, and you have to be more skilled in navigating them and more understanding of their need for space. And if you can really educate yourself on both how you are in relationships and how your partner is and the needs you both have, you know how to navigate things better.
Let me give you another example. A perfectly reasonable question to a partner is, how much alone time do you need per week? All right? Do you need a time to work on your stamp collection or whatever it is that you do and you enjoy doing? So when you even ask someone how much, free time or alone time is comfortable for you, that kind of makes it harder to fight about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And, if you need 3 hours to work on your stamp collection, I need 2.5 hours to cuddle. So can we reach a common ground here?
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're in a situation like this and you're confused, sign up for a coaching with us.
Sure.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Margaret has tremendous experience with avoidance and even the most extreme ones.
Yes.
And of course, I'll be happy to help you too. Just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also here for Skype coaching.
Yes, and if you feel like I can be helpful to you, please feel free to sign up. And I still want to say one more thing. Don't forget the use of humor, which will sometimes dissolve a very difficult situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. But you have to get to a place where you're not so desperately needing those needs met, so you can lighten up and use the humor.
Right.
Okay, so if you want Margaret's help, click on Margaret on the top of the website to sign up with her. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.